Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another true crime video, and today we are going to be doing the story of Musa Khawula and Wandile in Khambule. Now, if you're new to the channel, I try and do these videos often, so please do check out the playlist. I've done a couple already and I will be doing more in the near future. Before we dive into today's video, I just have one disclaimer. This case is fairly new. It only happened on the 4th of March 2022. It is still undergoing the court process and a verdict has not been given yet. It is therefore important for me to state that these are allegations for legal purposes. Now, with that said, and without wasting any more time, let's dive into today's video. Today's video takes us to Johannesburg, South Africa, and thereafter we're going to go to Cape Town and subsequently we will end up in Vredenburg. Musa Khawula was born on the 20th of September in 1992 in Johannesburg, South Africa. He grew up in a loving family where he lived with his mother and siblings. In 2008, Musa matriculated from Sigweje High School and thereafter he went to the University of Johannesburg, where he would be studying towards a Bachelor of Diagnostic Radiography. When Musa was at the University of Johannesburg, he immersed himself not just in his academics, but also in the social societies as well. From the year 2012 to 2013, he was a chairperson of the UJ Liberati DFC, and he also served as a UJ Liberati Central Committee General Secretary. And on top of this, friends who went to varsity with him during this time say that he enjoyed a healthy social life, as he would often be seen out in the Johannesburg nightlife. It was while he was still studying in UJ that his love for celebrity/entertainment news and gossip started. And in April of 2012, he started what is believed to have been his first blog, where he listed Sfabs, entertainment, and English as one of his main interests. Although this particular blog never took off, but it was definitely a step towards a direction that he really wanted to go into. Musa Khawula graduated from the University of Johannesburg and became a certified radiographer. Now, for those of you who don't know what radiographers are, they're basically health professionals that take x-rays and other medical images to assist doctors in diagnosing diseases or injuries. After completing his degree, Musa worked for Dr. Rancock, and thereafter he moved to Carletonville Hospital in Johannesburg. It was around this time that he met a young man named Wandile in Khambule. Wandile was born and bred in Matadeni in Newcastle in KwaZulu-Natal, but had relocated to Johannesburg. At the time of meeting Musa Khawula, Wandile had two beautiful kids from a previous relationship, a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old baby girl. Now, although some of his family members didn't know this, but Wandile was bisexual. And not too long after meeting Musa, they immediately fell in love and started a relationship. The year now is 2019. Unfortunately, Wandile was not working at this time, but was in the process of starting a photography business. He had amazing skills and started taking pictures in clubs and also provided services for small businesses. Musa and Wandile decided to move in together when the pandemic started. Musa was still working at the hospital, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, things had slowed down for Wandile and his new business. Although no one has publicly collaborated this, but Musa says that their relationship was not easy. He said that Wandile mistreated him so much and often lay his hands on him. And because of this, Musa says that Wandile ended up moving out, although their relationship still commenced. Musa then says that he decided to try and make a plan to leave. I'm going to actually insert an audio from Musa Khawula explaining what happened during this time.
And I remember thinking that, you know what, I need to get away. This is too much. So I didn't tell him that I was going to leave. So I resigned at my job in Carletonville and I was going to take up a new job in Cape Town. So I secured my job in Cape Town. I didn't tell him.
So basically what Musa was saying is that he did not just want to leave Wandile Khambule, he wanted to leave Johannesburg in general. Musa claims that 3 days before he moved from Johannesburg to Cape Town, Wandile came over, and after talking, they then decided that, you know what, they would move to Cape Town together. And just like that, the couple moved from Johannesburg to Cape Town towards the end of March of 2021 and moved into a small apartment in town. Wandile was familiar with Cape Town, so he'd often leave their apartment and go and visit friends and family in the township area. Unfortunately, he was still not working, but he was making strides to try and secure employment. Musa was working in a hospital again when they arrived in Cape Town. Musa Khawula claims that when they got to Cape Town, their relationship was still very strained. And because of this, Wandile would leave the apartment for long periods of time visiting friends and family. And during this period, he started a relationship with a young woman named Sweetness Jafta. Sweetness lived a bit over an hour out of Cape Town in a small town named Vredenburg. I want you guys to take a note of this. Musa Khawula claims that he never knew anything that had to do with Sweetness. But on the day of the incident in question, Musa Khawula finds himself at Sweetness's house. Nonetheless, Wandile would go back and forth between Vredenburg and Cape Town to Musa. In February of 2022, Wandile was in Cape Town with Musa in their apartment. On the 28th of February, while Musa was out, Wandile was left in the home and a fire broke out. Fortunately, the neighbors noticed the fire and were able to call for assistance. They also called Musa.
That evening, I get a call around 10 in the evening. So one of the flat, the people that stay in the flat where we were staying, and then he called me. He's like, you know what, Musa, where are you? Your flat is burning. I'm like, wait, if the flat is burning, I'm not at home. I haven't been at home since the morning, but there is one person that would be home. So that's Wandile. So you guys gotta go check up on him. Then they're like, no, we've been knocking. There's no one. I'm like, no, there is someone. Because obviously I live with him. If I'm not there, he's the only person who has access to the flat. So eventually they knocked and he woke up. The flat had burned to the ground. When I got there, probably about seven minutes later, because I wasn't far, I get there and then now I'm trying to get some answers. I'm like, you know what? Obviously, I need to talk to him.
The couple argued about what had happened. Wandile believed that Musa had organized his friends to come in and burn the flat with him inside. While on the other hand, Musa was really denying this and basically saying that Wandile had burnt his things and the flat himself. Musa says that during this argument, Wandile laid his hands on him to the extent of which he found himself in hospital for a couple of days thereafter. Wandile left Cape Town after the fire and went to his girlfriend Sweetness in Vredenburg. Musa says that he spent a few days in hospital after the incident, and thereafter he went back to the apartment and basically started the efforts to try and sort things out before the landlord could see. On Friday, the 4th of March 2022, about 4 days after the fire, Musa said that he wanted to go see Wandile because he wanted his cell phone because Wandile had left with it.
So he had my phone. So I remember thinking, okay, you know what? I need my phone. There's things I need to sort out, a whole lot of things. I don't have a phone. And that phone had been new. I had bought it. I gotten paid on the 25th. It was a fairly new phone. I needed it back. So fine. I remember I'm like, you know what? I think I know where to get him. I remember going to him thinking, one, obviously the main thing is to get my phone. And I remember also thinking, I was hoping for an apology.
Musa drove to Vredenburg and went directly to Sweetness's house, who happens to be Wandile's girlfriend. Now I have to state that from this point onwards, there are two versions of the story. There's Musa Khawula's version, and then there's Wandile Khambule's family's version that is collaborated by Sweetness Jafta, who is the girlfriend. I'll be starting with Wandile Khambule's family's version. The family says that Musa Khawula arrived at Sweetness Jafta's house on the 4th of March 2022 around 5 p.m. and demanded to speak to Wandile. Wandile refused to speak to him. He didn't want to come out. But because Musa was persisting, and obviously this wasn't his home and other people were there, he decided to go out. Sweetness says it wasn't even 5 seconds and she started hearing people screaming. When she checked to see what was happening, she saw Musa running after Wandile with a big knife and unfortunately got to him and sunk it within him, and immediately he fell down. As if this was not enough, it is said that he began chewing his lower lip. Immediately, everyone started to try and help Wandile, and while they were doing that, Musa got into his car and drove off. It is said that he went to drink at a club, and this is where he would later be arrested. However, Musa denies this version. He says that
Then get there, then I asked to speak to him. He comes out, and the first thing that he said to me, which was going to be the last thing, he said to me, "I'm glad you came because today I'm going to finish you." And in my head, I'm like, what are you talking about? I remember just being confused.
He then says Wandile picked up a bottle and started chasing after him. And Musa then says, coincidentally, out of nowhere by the gate, he found a knife that was just lying there. And this is when he decided to pick it up and try and defend himself. And this is where he says he was left with no other choice but to take Wandile Khambule's life. Musa then agrees with the rest of the story, saying that yes, after that, he drove off and he went to drink and was later arrested. 2 days after his arrest, on the Monday, he was given bail in Vredenburg Magistrates Court. While the police were trying to investigate the case, Musa Khawula went back to his life. And basically, he started putting more effort into his blogs. He had recently started a blog on Twitter, and he was putting all the effort that he had into trying to build it. He got a lucky break when he broke the news that Mihlalinda Mase was dating a married man, Leroy Tsidambe. And from this point onwards, he'd been known for his controversial blogging style and for dragging celebrities, influencers, and politicians. Musa Khawula would come with scandal after scandal, which would really help his blog to grow. But unfortunately for him, at the height of his Twitter blog, his account was suspended when he posted a compromising video of DJ Lulo Cafe. And after the suspension, he went on a break for a few months and he came back with a YouTube channel that grew momentously up to 80,000 subscribers within a very short space of time. Musa Khawula was doing all of this while he was silently attending his court case where he had pleaded self-defense. At the time that I'm recording this video, the trial is still pending. A verdict has not been reached yet. Musa Khawula is very open about this whole case to the extent of which you'll find him joking about it on lives, my Twitter spaces, and the likes. Now, he's doing all of this while Wandile Khambule's family continues to seek for justice and hopes for a favorable verdict. And with that said, I have come to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this case. And also kindly recommend the next case that you guys would like to see on the channel. Please stay safe out there. Bye.